Alright, so hear me out on this. Elf, dark skin, and Yuri. All of these amazing tags all in one. But first, the short summary. What if you were born into a continent governed by elf and many of the humans were targeted by monster attacks? But you are the lucky one, being raised in the royal palace by the ruler. And at the start of your tenure there, you meet the person that would help you in your quest to become the main characters of a doujin. Let's Talk 474506. Called Under the Moonlit Night. It's from the artist Takashisu, who from what I can see has done a lot of Yuri sauces. It's got all the tags I said earlier: elf, dark skin, Yuri, the works. So let's get right into it. The doujin starts out with some backstory about the continent it takes place in. There's a part of the continent governed by elves, and humans sought refuge there after relentless monster attacks, which our main character was part of. The elves in the royal palace are complaining about the MC being raised there, but someone calls out to her. This elf greets her, introducing herself as Lyra, and asks for the MC's name, which Carrie says. And that's how the two met. It cuts to 10 years later and there's a fight going on in a forest nearby. The troops are struggling but hype themselves up, defeating them in the end. We also see that Carrie's become the captain of the Royal Army Special Troops, and they march back for the capital, and Carrie gives her report to the queen about the monster attack. We then see that Lyra is now the elf queen and tells everyone to rest. She turns to her assistant to give her some orders, but looks back at Carrie and they both smile. It cuts to a new town, literally, and a hooded Carrie is walking through the streets, seeing humans and elves living hand in hand, and smiles. Ever since Lyra took the throne, she followed the former king's policies and founded Newtown as a bridge to connect elves and humans. But Carrie overhears some people talking about how the king either passed away or stepped down, but learned that time affects the two races differently, which triggers a flashback for Carrie where someone is telling her that the love between her and Lyra would make the now queen doomed for loneliness. But it cuts to later at the queen's chambers in the royal palace, where someone's standing guard as Lyra's hard at work trying to find a way to stop the threats from the mountain. But her hourglass glows and she pulls a book to randomly do the coolest thing I've seen in a doujin, opening a hidden passageway she walks down. At the same time, Carrie docks a boat and sees that her hourglass is pretty much the same and looks kind of sad. That's when Lyra walks up asking what she's doing out here so late, but before she has any time to react to her presence, Lyra jumps on her. They need to go before the patrols find them, and Lyra welcomes her home. Carrie says she's home and they share a kiss. It cuts to Carrie's house in the Newtown outskirts, and Lyra's washing Carrie's back, where Lyra realizes Carrie has a lot of scars now. But Larry crawls on her and asks why won't she return to the palace. She says that she's just a mere soldier who took an oath to protect the queen and her home. Lyra says she understands, and they just immediately start doing it. But during this, Carrie says that she's just simply running away, since she'll grow old and eventually pass too. But Lyra will live hundreds of thousands of years and will keep facing hardships, which Carrie won't be there for her when her time comes, and that terrifies her. Enough that she stops, thinking that she'll always be there for her but can't. They finish up and they're on the porch, where Lyra says for Carrie to not push herself too hard, and also says that this city is her home and she'll protect it just like Carrie. But stops mid-sentence and the two kiss again, with Carrie saying that she'll always return since there's no place for her except by Lyra's side. And the doujin ends. Overall, I rate this an 11 out of 10. The story is just amazing and I really love the fantasy aspect of it. The characters are also really interesting and have depth, which you don't see a lot of in Sauce. The art style is also amazing and is pretty unique. And I would go as far to say that this doujin has better world building than Naruto, but it's just, all things considered, absolutely fantastic. I recommend you check it out for yourselves as always. That's all I got. I'll see you in the next one.
Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul. These hentai babes make me drool. Hatsune Miku is great. She makes me masturbate. Fairy tale.